Hello, everyone, and good evening. Yep, I just put my hand in front of the camera. My bad. I needed to adjust it because I was a little cantywampus. I am coming to you tonight. I'm fanning because it smells like Thanksgiving up in my house. I'm making cornbread. No. Corny cornbread, my family recipe, and mac and cheese that I'm gonna take to work tomorrow. Not for everybody, but by request. And so I got on this hoodie because I came in and needed to change my clothes. But thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back for another evening with me. I'm sorry I missed last night. Somebody's just like, my God, why won't you just get up and get a fan? Because I'm not editing. And my hands are actually feeling really good right now because I got large hands. I'm fanning for me and the people in my backyard. No, just kidding. Because I had an event. No, I didn't have an event yesterday. Yesterday was a real chill day. And I cooked. We watched service at home online. And I just really, like, nope. I know when I have something to say and when I just need to be still. Yesterday was a be still day, which I'm really happy about because I do believe in the day of rest. And that's what yesterday was. So today has been a great day. Happy Monday to you all. I want to come tonight with a few lessons on perspective. I started my day a little later because, again, I'd had a busy weekend and I wasn't in a rush. My perspective today was at the onset, thank you, Lord, for waking me up, for seeing fit to have me be alive. Got ready, went to work. I had my protein drink and coffee on the way. I had some passengers. I pick up what we call slugs here, and then I proceed to DC. And my mindset was, what is it that I'm going to do today to make a difference, to improve, to learn, to share, to edify? Just my perspective this morning was, it's a new day. Let's get moving. Let's actually, be about the business, of where I work and to make my environment better than it was before I came. And a conversation that I had just kind of made me look at things differently. And I had a pit in my stomach, and I had to acknowledge how I felt and think about what I needed to do about it and assess that it shifted me from where I started. And now I'm in a new place. And this place is not a place that I wanted to stay. And I had to talk through what I needed to do to have a perspective that was going to allow me to continue to progress on my day and do some of the things that I needed to do. That took about maybe 20 minutes. I have a confidant that I talk to that listens to me process and then gives me feedback. And then in the span of that conversation, I got back on track. What's the lesson in that? The lesson is that I noticed at the end of the day today that I did 3 things. I acknowledged how I felt. I was surprised, but just kind of like, I knew, like I felt it in the pit of my stomach. And I'm like, what is this about? And then I named it. I said, how do I feel? I've talked about this before in my videos, but this one was different because I did this real time quickly, and I'm getting to the 3rd step. I talked it through and I asked myself, what can I control? Is this going to change how I see myself and what am I going to do about it? And then lastly, I made a decision that after I finished processing and thinking about it, acknowledging it, talking about it, that I was not going to let that derail, move, shift my mindset that I came in that day with, that I was going to keep moving because there were things that I needed to do. And that this feeling, while real, was not bigger than what God has for me. And I just needed to hold my mule. For someone that's neurodivergent, that is so big. Somebody's at home like, yeah, I do that all the time. Well, guess what? I'm gonna scratch the back on my neck. Doesn't always happen like that. And if you can identify with that, I would really love to know if you can. You don't have to necessarily tell me what it is. The reason that it's important enough for me to talk about is, one, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for actually going through the steps and doing it real time. I am really thankful that I had space in my day to have the conversation. And if there wasn't a human on the other end of the conversation, I would have just gone into prayer. And I believe the outcome would have been the same, to be honest. It's just nice to be able to hear your thoughts and have someone affirm. They don't necessarily need to agree, but it is good to have someone verbally just say, yeah, I get it. And the reason that it's important is because some of us get stuck so quickly. We will be on a path, we'll be on a journey. Sometimes it can be in the form of bad news. Sometimes it could be in the form of a mistake that we make, or a mistake that someone makes that impacts us. It could be just a trigger. You could be fine, and then there could be a memory or an instance that comes back that shifts your mood, shifts your perspective. It could be a host of different things. What I value now is how quickly I'm able to arrest that shift. And when I say arrest it, notice I didn't say move it aside. Notice I didn't say eat it. Notice I didn't say push it down. I said arrest it, because I need to hold on to it long enough to do what I just did. Assess it, acknowledge it, try to assess it and name it, and figure out, okay, what was said, what feeling did that evoke, what happened to make me go from here to here, what can I do about it? Is it in my sphere of control? If it's not, how can I shift the narrative? What truth can I tell myself to bring back that perspective? And let me tell you, that was a big deal for me. And I encourage you with that realism and in this transparent honesty, not that I would lie to you, is to do that in every moment and do it in real time. And you have license to say, I need a minute. Some people say, I need a minute to process. Some folks say, you know what? Can we table this conversation and I need to get back to you? I need to think through some things. And then, if it's something I can share, then I'll follow up with you. But right now I just need to pause. There's so many different things that we can say. The reality of it is how many times have we felt that way and we just pushed through, or we ignored it, or we just ate it. And by eating it, I mean literally devouring it and then swallowing it whole, and then it just lives in the pit of our stomach. And then when it happens again, it just adds on to that. You're not sure what happened, but what I think happens is that we regurgitate something that we've absorbed before that we never dealt with, and then it gets bigger because it's an aggregate. It just adds on. The harm that can do to us is that it won't just derail us. Sometimes it will if we're not sure and we're not able to address it. And when I say address it, I mean maybe acknowledge is a better word. When we're not able to acknowledge it, we just pretend like, oh, that's okay. We make excuses. We really aren't dealing with it. And you could even write down those things, those steps that I did on a piece of paper, and you could put it to the side and say, I'm going to get back to this when I have time. Because a lot of us don't necessarily have the time that I did today. I had a good 30 minutes to do all the things that I just described. And to boot, to add to the blessing, I had somebody real time to do it with. Sometimes we're alone and it's just us. For me, it's Jesus. You know, for you, it could be whoever you worship, whoever is in your higher power. The beauty is that I was able to get back on track, and I don't take credit for it. I really do not. I just said, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to go through that real time. Because how many times in my life has that happened to me, and I just pretended that it didn't happen? I pretended that it didn't make me feel the way it felt. And the it could be anything. The it could be a person. The it could be a phrase. The it could be a memory. And it's like the death of 1,000 cuts. You know, sometimes we are walking and we're just bleeding all over ourselves and other people, and we don't realize it, that these were things that we just didn't address. These things will keep you from being in the moment. They will derail you. They will cause your perspective to be skewed. And oh my goodness, what happens if your perspective is I don't want to say wrong, but what happens if you're looking at it from here based on information that's not real, and you act on that, you make a decision on that? Sometimes we're so far away from where we're supposed to be, because we've just allowed, we haven't given ourselves the opportunity to have perspective and to think through, pray through, talk through all the things. And for me, part of this journey of recording a video every day and sharing a lesson is to remind us that we are still works in progress. So I don't have it all figured out. This literally just happened to me today, and I would love to tell you that as long as I've been living on this earth, that happened. I mean, I'm old enough to have developed those processes and develop those muscles to be able to do that. And I'm telling you, I don't normally give myself the chance. I power through, or I'm like, nope, I didn't feel that, or I ignore it, or I don't know how to process it, so I just swallow it and put it away. And that's dangerous. We shouldn't do that to ourselves. I'm very proud of myself, and I know I went through that information rather quickly, but I think you were able to pick up on some of the steps that I did. I wasn't very specific about what it was, and that was intentional, because we are different people. We have different demands. We go through different things every day. And I don't want any of us to right size it, because we often do that too. We decide, we get our own measuring stick out and we tell people, oh, that's a small thing. Oh, don't let that bother you. That's a little thing. When you don't see the 1,000 cuts, you don't see how often that person has gone through this. And so that's the other lesson that I want to leave you with. And the last one is this: if you come across a friend, a relative, or someone in your sphere in your life that is going through that, please resist the urge to get out your measuring stick and decide how small or how large that thing is, that pit, that what they feel is. Because what is small to you, you just never know how many bite-sized pieces, how many cuts there are. It allows us to be kind. It allows us to show grace. And when we show it to other people, it is so much easier to show ourselves the grace when we aren't able to get through and process it in 30 minutes. When it may take 30 days. It may take weeks to get to that point where we have perspective and we're able to proceed with the information that we have and what we've learned and continue to process it and not let it derail us. And that is the message today. Don't let it derail you. Even if you need a pause, even if you need to write it down and literally just pause until you can get perspective, until you can get to a friend, get to a therapist, get to your pastor, get to anyone, and God is there, where you can just say it out loud and begin to unravel whatever that thing is. I encourage you to do that. It's going to bless you, and it's definitely going to bless somebody else, because you may be the other person on the other end that does that. So that's all I wanted to leave with you today. I wish this was smell-o-vision, because this cornbread that is cooling in my kitchen smells some kind of good. And then it's mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is good too, but this cornbread, oh, it's so good. And everybody that's in my family knows what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry that you can't have any, but that's okay. You reach out to me. I might share the recipe. You never know. I want y'all to have a great day. Thanks for popping by and hanging out with me tonight. Another sweatshirt. National Society of Black Engineers. It's oversized and it's so comfortable. But yeah, y'all have a good one.